This is a WPTZ News Channel 5 update. Escape from Dannemora. The search for Richard Matt and David Sweat.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of this story. I'm Stephanie Gorin.
And I'm David Schneider as we continue to follow many developments that are coming in this evening in the investigation into the prison break from Dannemora.
That's right, and there was just a news conference with some high-level authorities that gave us an awful lot of information. WPTZ Stuart Ledbetter was there. They were talking about the woman you see on the screen, Joyce Mitchell. Stuart, we have you on the phone. What can you tell us?
Well, we've just wrapped up the news conference by the Clinton County DA Andrew Wiley and the incident commander here for the New York State Police, Major Charles Guest. And they announced the arrest and the charges against Joyce Mitchell, one a felony, one a misdemeanor, helping essentially to facilitate the escape of these two convicts from the Clinton Correctional Facility last weekend. Mitchell will be arraigned this evening at the City of Plattsburgh court, time to be determined. There was also new information about the hunt for these two fugitives. Major Guest saying that there have been no confirmed sightings of either suspect since this whole thing began. That was quite surprising to hear. We've heard all sorts of hyperbole, but from Major Guest, no confirmed sightings. They continue to focus on this area intensively because the Major said we have no concrete evidence that either of them have left. So they remain highly focused on this general area that we've been telling you about here for days. Major Guest saying that after this many days, they're obviously even more dangerous and desperate than they might have been at the outset. Let's listen now to the Clinton County DA Andrew Wiley, followed by Major Charles Guest here at the Saranac High School minutes ago.
Good evening. I'm Major Charles Guest, Troop B Commander of the New York State Police. Today we've arrested 51-year-old Joyce Mitchell of Dickinson Center, New York, for her role in providing material support to David Sweat and Richard Matt with their escape from the Clinton Correctional Facility. She has been charged with promoting prison contraband, first degree, a Class D felony, and criminal facilitation, fourth degree, a Class A misdemeanor. She will be arraigned at Plattsburgh City Court and remanded to the Clinton County Jail. This is one large piece of the puzzle in our quest to find these two escaped murderers. Today, our teams continue to search the area around State Route 374 in the town of Plattsburgh. A portion of Route 374 will remain closed until the search has been completed to our satisfaction. Within that search area, we have literally hundreds of personnel in yards of residences, walking along the wood lines, conducting grid searches through the wooded areas, and we will not stop searching until that area is searched thoroughly to our satisfaction. Also, members of law enforcement continue to go door to door in and around the surrounding area, checking homes and seasonal residences. If members of the public see anything unusual upon arriving at their residence, at their seasonal home, or in the general community, they are asked to contact law enforcement immediately by calling 911 or by using our tip line. I want to expend my heartfelt thanks for the outpouring of the businesses for their support. The State University of New York, Plattsburgh, has given us the use of their dormitories for our troopers who have been brought in from across the state to support this operation. Additionally, the University of Medical Center in Plattsburgh, Additionally, I would like to thank Verizon for upgrading their cell towers, which has been instrumental in our investigation, and thank the Superintendent of Schools here at the Saranac School District for letting us use this conference center in this inclement weather. Several local businesses and individuals have donated food and other supplies to help keep all first responders in the community fed and well-nourished during this stressful event. We are working seamlessly around the clock with several agencies in our hunt. We have a message for David Sweat and Richard Matt. We're coming for you, and we will not stop until you are caught. I would like to now introduce the Clinton County District Attorney Andrew Wiley, who is going to talk about Mitchell's charges as well as their arraignment.
Thank you, Major. Come on. Good evening, everyone. The Major has explained to you what the two charges are that will be filed or are being filed. tonight, and the arraignment will proceed a little bit later on at Plattsburgh City Court in the city of Plattsburgh. We will continue to our participation in this investigation and our working with the New York State Police and all the local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies that are involved in this investigation. And as the Major just indicated, we will continue this investigation until these two individuals are taken into custody. The promoting prison contraband charge is a Class D felony. As the judge indicated, the minimum sentence and maximum sentence range on those is a 1 1/3 to 4 or a 2 1/3 to 7 year maximum sentence, and the facilitation charge is the facilitation to commit the escape is a Class A misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in the local county jail. Those are the two charges at this point in time that we have filed. There's investigations are ongoing as to potentially other charges that we may file relative to Joyce Mitchell, but those will be determined at a later time. So I don't have any other statements initially that I'll make at this point in time. I'm going to turn the podium back over to Major Guest, and if you have any limited questions for him, he will deal with those limited questions. I can just indicate we are going to deal with this on a very limited basis as far as the questioning and answering on these issues tonight. Thank you.
Can you just repeat the sentence, the length?
The maximum sentence on a D felony in New York State is 2 1/3 to 7 years. Indeterminate sentence relative to that charge of promoting prison contraband in the first degree.
When you say that Mitchell provided material support, what do you mean by that?
And there could also be another year tacked on to that sentence if Joyce Mitchell is found guilty, because she has also been charged with a misdemeanor, and that is 1 year in jail. Her husband has not been charged. I think it's important to point that out.
Certainly. There's been lots of rumors flying around. They did make a note of that. They also said that some of the information that they're getting from Joyce Mitchell is fruitful and productive, is how they put it. They said that they've gotten a timeline, getting a timeline out of her. And one thing that you've certainly noted, Steph, is that we finally heard more definitively when they got out of jail, which was Saturday morning. That's certainly one question answered, at least.
At least that's one question answered, and that means that they only had a few hours head start. They also said that there is no evidence that they have left this area, which is why they are sticking around, all of these 800 uniformed officers sticking around trying to find them. They have no idea if they are together or if they separated immediately. And they said that Vermont has not been eliminated as a place where these one or two of the escaped killers could have gone to.
That's a big point, and Vermont has been a partner since pretty early on. Both of the governors had gotten together. They're searching, devoting resources in Vermont to search areas around Lake Champlain to see if there's been any stolen boats, reminding people to keep an eye on their camps, see if anything is different, and be very vigilant about that. So they said that the scope of the investigation is still national and still international, but again, he pointed out that so far there's no evidence that they've seen to indicate that the convicts who have escaped have left the area.
Yeah, and they are interviewing civilians and staff members at the prison, still trying to find things out. And they said that they did arrest Joyce Mitchell, 51-year-old Joyce Mitchell, now because they said that it is time to move on with the investigation. The fruitful and productive part of those interrogations has ended in their estimation. So they arrested her. We will find out more about her arrest when we get to see those that paperwork, that court paperwork that we are expecting to get our hands on sometime tonight. That is it for now from us on the escape from Dannemora. But as you know, we are following this very closely. Stay with us. WPTZ.com. We will cut in if we need to during regularly scheduled program. And don't forget about the WPTZ app.
We'll see you soon. Stay with us.